Here's the GOrate energy rating checklist. In order for us to get your report done quickly and cost effectively, we need the following information. So let's go through it one by one. First on the list is the site plan. Here's a typical overall site plan. I'll zoom in a bit. The main thing we really need is the north point, so we know which way the house faces, and also an indication of where the house sits on the block. Next on the list is the dimensioned floor plan with areas, room names and window sizes. So here's a typical floor plan. First of all, we need dimensions, or at least one dimension, so we can scan the drawing into our software for measurement purposes. Next, we need areas, also so we can do our calculations. We also need the room names listed for two reasons. One, every different type of room has a different weight in the calculation. And also, if we don't have a window number, we use the window name to identify the window in the window calculation sheet. And lastly, we obviously need the window sizes for calculation purposes. Now next up is for alterations and additions. We also need existing floor plan with room names and room sizes. So here, shaded in yellow, we have the existing part of the building, and the rest of it is the new part. So we need the areas of the existing building and the area of the addition to establish the total resident size, and that's for our calculation purposes. When we talk about the existing part of the building, what we're really concerned about is the existing part that's remaining, not the existing part in the red here that's being demolished. So highlighted in the yellow, the existing remaining is what we need to know about, both for the size of that space and the windows. So again, we have the existing resident size, the addition size that gives us the total resident size. From that, we can also calculate our volumes. That's more to do with the compliance requirements. Again, we need the room names and all the windows. So in the red, we have our new windows, in the blue, the existing remaining. So just to put it into perspective, here's a typical glazing calculation. So first of all, there's our overall area size of the house in the red. Here's our window number and room name. The different weight being utility area, living area or bedroom, based on the room type. And lastly, there's the window size, height by width. Now next on the list is elevations with exterior cladding nominated. There's a typical elevation page. We'll zoom in a bit. So really what we need to know is the wall type. Every type of wall has a different rating or different R value which we need to calculate. Next up, section drawing showing roof, wall and floor construction. So here's a typical section. So from that we can establish what type of roof it is, whether it's a truss roof or a cathedral ceiling or a flat roof, what type of wall we have, and also the floor system. This one is a suspended timber floor. Sometimes it might be a concrete slab on ground. The section also shows us how high above the ground, and all of these things are relevant to the calculation. Now next on the list is the window sizes or window schedule, height, width and frame material. I know we've gone through this before, but this is an important one and one that often trips us up or holds us up. So this is a typical window schedule. So on the schedule we have a window number the window size, the glass type, the frame type, and the sash type. So back to the alteration and addition floor plan, we might just zoom in on the bathroom here, and we'll have a look at the window tag, and I'll explain that to you. So on the window tag, up the top we have the window number, and then down the bottom we have the window size, which is a code. Let's explain the code. The first two digits of the window code are the window height. So 1.8 in this case is 1.8 meters or 1800 millimeters. Second is the window width. So the 0.9 in this case is 0.9 meters or 900 millimeters. We don't talk in centimeters in the building industry. Now that we've talked about window sizes, it's important to mention that we don't necessarily need to have a window schedule on the drawings. Some designers have window schedules, some don't. So as long as we have the window size, that's all that matters. So you notice in the blue here we have 1809, which is the window size, height by width. Under the red we have a tag with a window number which refers to a schedule. On this particular tag we have the window size as well. As long as we have the window size, that's all that matters. So don't worry if your drawings don't have a window schedule. As long as the window sizes are illustrated somewhere, that's all we need. So now we've done the building envelope or into services. Now this is really relevant to what sort of heating cooling you're putting into the house. The first three I've highlighted here are evaporative cooling, ducted heating, and refrigerated cooling. And this is really all about the insulation around the ductwork. So depending on what type you're putting in, there might be a different requirement for the insulation around the ductwork. Next on the list is slab heating. Now the requirement for slab heating is that you must have perimeter insulation from the top of the slab down to 300 mm below the ground. Lastly on the list is hydronic panel radiators. So there's an image of a panel radiator on the right, and on the left this is what we're talking about. Again, it's like the ductwork. What we're really concerned about is the insulation requirement around the pipes and where the pipes are, whether it be in the wall, outside, or in the roof space. And that's it. We've completed the checklist.